sort of games, or one of the great kind of conversations over the last couple of months has been how many Chinese-made or how many Chinese brand cars you see on our roads. There's confirmation now that Chery South Africa is in the second phase of a feasibility study that could see them making some of their cars here. The car industry, of course, globally, going through a series of transitions, moving away from fossil fuels to hybrid and electric cars, but also away from European and American vehicles to Chinese cars. George Minnie is the CEO at Autotrader SA. George, good evening. Good to talk to you again. We have a very well-established car industry. We have particular government programs that incentivize this. Would it make sense for Chery to make some of their cars here?
Hi, Stephen, and great to be with you again and your 702 listeners. Yes, it would make very much sense for Chery to produce cars here, and the numbers speak for themselves because, firstly, they would be able to sidestep the 18% import tariff on importing cars into South Africa if they make them here, or even if they make a few of their variants in South Africa, they could offset import manufacturing credits against imports so that they pay less import tariffs into South Africa. So, the drive is really probably to lower costs, and they've reached critical mass.
I mean, that really is the issue. In the end, they're going to look at the numbers, and suddenly government policy becomes very important in this.
Exactly right. And the numbers are very, very good for them.
One of the big issues that has been our government policy towards electric and hybrid cars. So it took a little while for there to be an actual policy on electric cars. If I recall, there are some actually big incentives on the table. If you're going to come and build a plant to build electric cars, government can probably make that worth your while.
Yes. So the incentives, however, fall flat when it comes to the consumer. So from a manufacturing point of view, there are incentives in place, but from a consumer point of view, there aren't any incentives in place just yet. So yes, you're absolutely right. I think the biggest drawback from electric car point of view, particularly, is the 25% import tariff versus 18% on internal combustion engine vehicles. And right now, we can see that Chery is bringing in internal combustion engine vehicles. Just on Autotrader sites alone, we've seen a 42% increase in people looking at Chery's June last year versus June this year.
That's a huge increase. I mean, what's their unique selling point here? And I'm presuming price is the major factor.
Well, it's a little bit further than price, Stephen. So it is price, but I think that Chinese vehicles are probably 80% the build quality. And I'm no manufacturer, but I've driven a lot of cars, and my team have driven a lot of cars. Probably 80% of the build quality of a European or German vehicle at 60% of the price, and that delta of 20% is what adds value to the consumer.
There's a series of transitions that we're seeing at the moment. Volkswagen says they can't make cars economically in Europe. China has a huge oversupply, a huge overcapacity of electric cars. Can we, as South Africa, relatively small, open economy, et cetera, can we compete, given all of these transitions that are happening? And in a way, it's probably China that we actually have to compete with.
Yes, and I think it is China that we're going to have to compete with in the foreseeable future because they just have the volumes and they have the market to be able to do these things at scale. Especially if they bring manufacturing plants to South Africa, they'd be able to increase that scale.
I would imagine also the fact that we have people who've been building cars for many years. Some of them don't have jobs at the moment, but there are plenty of people with lots of experience in this sector, and that could be really quite useful.
It could be very useful. I mean, many people look negatively on Chinese vehicles in the market, but, let's be honest, their vehicles have gained momentum and they've gained popularity. But besides popularity and momentum, they've also increased the quality of the cars. Yes, maybe not to German and European standards in terms of build quality, but the technology you get in the cars, the extras you get in the cars, they are good cars at the end of the day, and they do meet the safety standards that are required to be in South Africa.
George Minnie, thanks very much indeed. CEO at Autotrader SA.